Most definitely not budget related. Otherwise, I always remember what is it that I did that brought me here. My biggest, I think the mistakes that I made were, yeah, like a big project because certain names are coming together and...
Congratulations on Padmavat.
Thank you.
The success of the film, I think, positions you as the most powerful woman in Bollywood. I think it does. There's no argument with that. But with great power comes great responsibility. So what do you want to do with this power?
To be honest, I think I've always, it's never been about now what. I think whatever I feel, I felt even some years ago, which is whatever you do, do it with some purpose and with some intention, with the intention to bring about some sort of change, to be able to impact people's lives with happiness and positivity, maybe some amount of guidance with what I get to do. I think I get to learn a lot, and maybe with speaking about my journey or my experiences or the films that I do, if I'm able to empower people, I think that has always been my intention. So I think with the success of the film, I feel like it just sort of further amplifies that platform.
But Deepika, what was ironical was that this is a film, because it is such a massive success, it will change things for women in the film industry, right? But it was so vilified for its own gender politics. When something like that happens, do you step back and sort of say, okay, maybe here's another way to look at it? Did it give you any other perspective?
No, it didn't give me any other perspective. The intention of doing Padmavat was for people to realize that there was a woman with that sort of spirit and fearlessness. And I think it was a story that needed to be told now. So for me, there was no other way. For me, this was the way. There could be other ways that people look at it, but for me, it was this.
You know, there's this wonderful moment in Sunset Boulevard, which is about this silent movies, a movie star from the silent movie time. And this man says to her, "Oh, Norma Desmond, you used to be big." And she says, "I am big. It's the pictures that got small." Now, as you get bigger and bigger, how do you make sure that the roles have the same bigness, that they have the meat and the heft?
I think they have to be meaningful. Like I said, I think Piku was a small film, but it had meaning, it had depth. I think I need to find that connect. So it's not about how, it's not literally how big or small the film is.
It's not budget related.
It's not budget related. It's most definitely not budget related. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done Finding Fanny, for example. I don't think anything changes. In my humble opinion, I feel that's a mistake that a lot of people make, that with more success comes more responsibility, and so you have to start changing things in your life. I actually look at it the other way, which is you are where you are because of certain things that you've done or certain things that you've believed in. So to remember your roots and to go back to and keep reminding yourself of why you are here and what is it and what are those decisions or what are those thoughts or who are those people who have helped you get to where you are. That's the way I look at it.
So there's no sense of, now I can't do this?
No.
Not at all?
No. Why would there be?
No. Number one and all that.
No. No, I mean that's the way I've always looked at it. Of course, I think, like I said, I think it's important for me to always remember what is it that I did that brought me here. I think if I had to sum it up in one line, I think it would be to not forget my roots. And I think I mean that in so many ways, whether it's remembering. I think in my personal life, in my professional life, I think in so many ways, I think that line just sums up everything.
Deepika, do you see yourself as an artist or as a brand?
As an artist, I think.
That's lovely.
Yeah. I hope that doesn't change. While I think people's perception is changing or has changed, again, that brings me back to my earlier point, which is if people perceive me a certain way or can attribute certain things to me because of the work that I've done, or it's because of being an artist. That's never going to change, and that's inherently who I am, and that's the foundation. You don't forget that.
I know you don't like to talk about your acting process. I know that. But I have to ask. So we did this interview with Imtiaz, and he was talking about this scene in Tamasha where you and Ranbir, you saw that, and he was, he spoke with such love about the two of you and what you brought to that scene and how you did it. And he said that you were actually shy, and you used performance to kind of get over your personal shyness. And how do you do that?
I don't know.
It just happened?
He said that I used...
that you used to be a very shy person.
Which I still am.
Right.
Which I still am. Maybe I'm just better equipped today to handle it. Maybe but I'm inherently a shy and awkward is how I describe myself.
Your middle name.
Yeah. It's my first and last name. Forget middle name. But
so he said that through performance, you actually kind of came over that shyness. Is that, can you do that? Can you, as you become more mature as an actor perhaps, sort of, become less and less shy? At least in front of the camera maybe?
Yes. In front of the camera, yes. I think one of my biggest, I think the mistakes that I made was to, I think the fact that I was shy off screen, I think I'd bring it on screen as well, and sort of carried that consciousness in front of the camera for a very long time. And then I think with a little bit maybe in Love Aajkal, or directors who realized that I was shy in front of the camera and understood how to sort of break that, they did. But I think on my own, I think I realized it during Cocktail, and then changed it after that, which was I was more free in front of the camera, and I was able to engage and be a different person and not be inhibited in front of the camera.
But that doesn't apply to life.
More than inhibited, I would say yes, while I am shy and while I am awkward, I think I have worked on it. I think I've become better with it over the years. But I think a lot of it also has to do with the way I've been brought up. You've met my parents, and there's a certain way they speak, and there's a certain way they carry themselves.
There's a grace.
And that's sort of, I think that's the same way they've brought up my sister and me as well. So, to say simply, I don't know any other way of being.
Last year you completed 10 years of being an actor. Have your creative instincts changed at all, or is that process of finding a script you love, a character you love, is it still the same?
Yes, it's the same. The process is the same because it's always been instinct. I think the only difference is that earlier there were times when I'd be tempted to do films because it just sounded like the right thing to do.
Like a sexy project.
Yeah, like a big project because certain names are coming together and we'll work on the script later, but this is a great announcement. I have been tempted in the past to do films like that, but I think part of the success, I think what comes with success is confidence, and I think that confidence, with that confidence, I'm able to tell myself that no, it's fine. Like the way I've approached my work so far is the right way to go about it for myself. It could be different for different people, but this is what works for me. And so today, if someone's trying to convince me otherwise, I'm very sure of my instincts. Yeah.
But can success be paralyzing in any way? Are you is there a fear that if I do this, can I take risks as an artist?
If anything, I think it's made me feel a lot more confident. It's made me feel a lot more free. The ability to take risks, the ability to express. It doesn't feel like a burden. It doesn't feel like my wings are clipped, or it doesn't feel like a burden. It truly feels I feel empowered. I feel free. Yeah.
You know, I saw this interview you did a couple of years ago where you talked about how they asked
What
you.
did I say?
You said, so they said, if you want an actor, what would you be? And you said a homemaker.
Yes.
Okay.
That doesn't change.
And yeah, that doesn't. So, and you said that I could very easily just walk away from all of this and live a life of happy domesticity. I mean, somehow I just can't see that. Is that right?
That maybe I change a little bit. It's too much a part of my life for me to say that I can walk away from it. But I can definitely, I think the fact that domesticity, home, parents, family, marriage, children, staying connected, roots, all of that is very important for me. I'd feel very unsettled if I didn't have that. But yes, I think today I can see how I can be a working wife or a working mother and still do what I love doing and do it successfully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, please, that's not even an option.
Yeah, no, it's not an option.
You have to keep doing it.
No, because I did feel, maybe I felt like that at that point because I was working so much and I had this thing of, okay, now I just need to, but I can see myself balancing that now. And I think I'd drive myself and people around me crazy if I didn't work.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
I'll be completely neurotic if I didn't work.
Yeah.
So you have to work.
Yeah.
So what is your response then to all the reports swirling around some impending marriage? I mean, are you amused by it, or do you just not want to go there at all?
I wouldn't even say amused, to be honest.
Are you at all?
I think after a point you just get immune.
Right.
So it's not even amused.
Also, wouldn't Padmavat have kind of done that? Because it was in the news every single day. I imagine at some point you'd have to have an armor, no?
Well, more than an armor, I think breathe.
Yeah.
I think, I think an armor is stifling. I think, just, it's okay. I've been engaged off so many times.
Right.
I've been married off, many, many times. But, it is what it is. And I don't think there's any point in sort of fighting it, It's most definitely something that will happen in my life at some point of time, and it is a very important, I'd say, institution for me in the way that I've seen my parents and my uncles and aunts, and in the way that I've been brought up. So I'm not going to say that, marriage doesn't mean anything to me, but at the same time, I know that when it is the right time, I'll feel it, and it'll happen when it has to happen.
Deepika, you've been such a brave advocate for mental health. And I saw somewhere you were talking about how, it's so prevalent and how we all need to be far more open about it. And you said that, in fact, social media can directly lead to depression. But social media is also such a key part now of being an actor in Hindi cinema. It's almost a requirement. There's literally 3.5 people who are not on social media. How do you kind of tame the beast that the social media world is?
Moderation.
Meaning?
I think how much we consume it. We don't sit and watch TV every time, every day, all the time. Similarly, but unfortunately or fortunately, because we have our phones on us all the time, and I see this, I think earlier, if we were sitting with, say, strangers, for example, there'd maybe be an awkward silence for some time, but then you start talking to each other. But now you don't need to make conversation with people because I can pretend to be busy or actually be busy on my phone, or actually keep myself, occupied. So I think, it is about moderation and how, while there are amazing upsides to social media today, and, it's literally brought the world closer, it's also isolating us because we're not engaging with people around us. I think there are moments where you don't feel great about yourself because you're seeing somebody else put up a version of their life.
Absolutely.
It's not their whole life.
Yeah.
very, very few people, maybe like 0.5% of people will actually put up a post of them crying or a video. Or, it's not real.
It's a performance.
You know, it's a performance.
Absolutely.
It's a, I wouldn't say a performance. It's just a very, very minuscule part of somebody's life. But when that's the only thing you're projecting, you sort of start wondering, like, is this happening only to somebody else? And why is my life not as amazing? And so it's tricky.
Are you purposefully sort of, are you mindful of how long you
I'm
spend?
mindful, yes.
Yeah?
I'm mindful.
You're not addicted to Instagram?
No.
You're not just sort of consuming, and because it's so easy.
No, and when I feel myself do, because I'm very aware of my thoughts and my feelings, and so when I do feel like I'm going down that route, I will quietly put my phone away and walk away from it and try and do something more productive, like read or clean in my house or do something else.
Yeah, you're a big cleaner, no?
Yes.
You like things to be exactly...
Everything. It's, yeah, declutter.
That's right. That's right. You know, Deepika, in the West, there are now very powerful women like Meryl Streep and the producer Shonda Rhimes and Reese Witherspoon, who've all donated a lot of money to Time's Up, which is sort of attempting at a systemic level to fight the discrimination against women in the film industry. Do you think there's a need for something like that here?
Absolutely.
You know, things like that.
Yes, I would definitely endorse that. But I would also think that it's important for it to be gender neutral.
Not just for women.
Yeah. I mean, while I do think women in our country need to be protected, I think there are some men that need to be protected as well. So I don't think this should become a battle of male versus female. I think it's about right versus wrong.
Yeah, that's true. And tell me, what now for you? Like, what are the choices you're going to be making?
Well, there was this film with Vishal that I was doing, which isn't happening as of now. But I do feel like there's certain energies that I want to sort of spend in a particular direction as far as films are concerned. And I think I'm looking for that.
Do you still want to do a nice romantic film?
Yes. Oh, my brief hasn't changed. I told you this. Yeah, so I still want to do something that's meaningful, but I can't tell you the number of people who have come up to me and said, can you do another Ye Jawani Hai Deewani? You know, and I wish it fell in my lap.
Come on, you're Deepika Padukone. You don't have romantic scripts to choose from?
People aren't making many.
Really?
Yes, everyone's doing biopics for some reason. I don't know why. And sports biopics. Why is everyone trying to make a sports biopic?
You just want, you want something that's like, that tugs at the heart?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, like fun, light. Yeah, fun and light. Fun and light is the brief.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah.
After 3 films with Sanjay Mansali, you need fun and light.
Yeah, I have to do fun and light.
And it hasn't come yet?
No.
Okay, well, you know, note to all the filmmakers. Yeah, come on.
Everyone.
Come on. Here she is, waiting for fun and light.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And what else? Like, what are you doing right now?
I'm helping my parents complete their home. So they're doing up their house and I'm helping them do that. I'm putting my house in order, which is a never-ending thing and I love doing. So it's not, for me, it's not stressful or it's not a chore. I enjoy doing that. Setting up my office. So it was, you know, the month end. So, you know, taking care of all of that, closing the accounts, books of accounts, and just like
Paperwork,
which I love doing.
I heard this before. I was like, really?
Yeah, which I love doing. So I was just, you know, a little printing, a little stapling, a little filing, a little emailing. Yeah.
The exciting life of Bollywood's #1 actor.
Yeah. Cleaning, I clean one section of my cupboard because I need to clean every few, definitely clean my cupboards every few months. Otherwise, there's just so many clothes and there's just so much to do.
Okay, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, so I cleaned out one section. I still have another section to do. There's a lot of cleaning to do.
I can't believe you're you're excited about cleaning, Deepika.
I can't tell you how much joy it gives me. I feel like my perfect day would be wake up in the morning, have my South Indian breakfast, go down to the gym.
You were really happy about Idli Day, na?
I was so happy. I didn't know there was a World Idli Day, and it was trending for 2 days. Idli Day was trending for 2 days. I was so happy. Although I ate dosa on Idli Day, but I cheated on Idli.
So you'll have the South Indian breakfast, and then what would you do on this perfect day?
Go to the gym.
Okay.
Then come back. Then have fruit and vegetable juice. Now I'm telling you like proper detail. Then either do some sort of work, which Ranveer calls phat-phat, because he feels like I can never sit in one place.
Phat-phat kya hota hai?
Phat-phat is like phat-phat. Like all the time I have to keep
you're frittering around.
Yeah, like all the time. I can't sit in one place and do one thing. I'm all the time like doing something. So either in the office or in the house, I have to do something. Then I'll have lunch. Then again I'll do something. And then evenings, depends. Maybe a massage, maybe not. Netflix, dinner, talk to my parents. So that's one kind of day. The other kind of day is go down to the gym, come back, meetings, narrations, all of that. Evening, Netflix, dinner. Yeah. That's what I'm doing now.
Listen, it's delightful, but I really
and
need the light film to come out.
No, and there are a few days where I've been going to Bangalore and helping my mother with the interior designer. So there are those days also.
So you're being a dutiful daughter.
Yeah, have to be.
That's lovely.
It's expected, demanded, and I like doing it also.
That's just lovely. Okay, I'm going to end, but before, since you brought up Ranveer, I have to ask, I remember coming to you had thrown us a party in the Four Seasons Hotel. You remember that party? What was it for? We were all asked to dress in gold.
Just for fun, because I remember
it was for fun. It was a massive success. You were coming off a big hit.
It was 2013, and I had 4 mega hits that year,
right,
all in one row, and I just felt like I'd never ever met everyone together.
Right.
And it was just a celebration.
Right. Yeah. And I remember it was black and gold, right?
Yes.
Yes, I remember this so clearly. Okay, so I walked in around the same time as Ranveer, and he was wearing this sheet black and gold, and you just cracked up and you said, you look like a sofa. So,
I think I've said that to him quite a few times.
I mean, I have died laughing. Yeah. Do you ever talk to him about his clothes?
Yeah. He does try very hard to seek my approval, but I think in life it's very important to be honest, and I'm known to not mince my words usually. So yeah.
Deepika, thank you.
Thank you.
And I hope fun and light film happens very soon.
I hope so too.
We need you back on
screen. I hope so too. Please send the feeling and